Hello and welcome back to Crochet Saturday Swatch. Wait, that's not what it's called. Crochet Swatch Saturday. That's what it's called. Okay, so today we are bringing you this Knit Picks / We Crochet Capra. And if you're not familiar, Knit Picks and We Crochet is the same company, but they have two different websites. One that is geared towards knitters and one that's geared towards crocheters. And essentially they have the exact same items on both websites. It's just catered in a little bit different way. So we are talking the Capra. This is a DK weight yarn and the colorway is Magnolia Heather. It comes with 123 yards in a 50-gram donut, and it is made in Peru, so the tariffs on this are going to be lower than a lot of the other yarns. And of course we are hand wash, dry flat, because it is 85% merino wool and 15% cashmere. It's a 3-weight yarn, and we are going to be using a 4.5mm crochet hook for our test swatches today. So we are going to set you aside here and give you a nice little stand, and then we are going to pull another skein and get some swatching going. Now, I was very intrigued by this yarn because of the cashmere in it. I have actually tested some cashmere blends that are not amazingly soft. I need a stand for you, but I don't have a stand for you, so hopefully we can just squish you and you'll stand. So I read somewhere that cashmere needs to be in a certain percentage, which does not have to be extremely high, but it does need to be in a certain percentage in order for the cashmere softness and properties to come through. So maybe this percentage, the 15%, hit that, because this certainly on the ball here is a very, very soft yarn. It's very luscious. It's got a little bit of a squish factor to it, so we'll see how it works up overall. Okay, single crochets. I always I do more double crochets, and so I often sort of just muscle memory go to a double crochet and have to say, no, we're doing singles today. Doing singles. So this, what is this? A Magnolia Heather is a very lovely sort of dusty lavender. And I know it's not like the fashionable color right now, but I think it's a really pretty, very kind of a light winter / early spring before the full blooms, when colors are still a little muted. But I certainly think it's a very pretty color, whether you are using this for winter hats or cowls or even a full sweater. I think this would actually make a really, really pretty cardigan, if you ask me. Now, I only have 3 skeins of this. I actually purchased this for the purpose of upcycling a denim jacket with it. And I have a sort of gray black washed, so it's more gray than it is black, that I think this would actually kind of give it a little feminine hint to it. So I might use it for that. So this yarn does not have as much color variation as a lot of the yarns that I test on these Swatch Saturdays, but I did want to test it from the softness factor, which I know a lot of people find a yarn might be super soft to the touch, or they might think, oh, that's a cashmere, so it's going to be really soft, and they buy it with that impression. So this is sort of more a swatch to say, yeah, this really is super soft, or no, it's not as soft worked up as you might think. So we are testing it for that purpose. That keeping in mind that I am not going to wash this, and I don't think that it is similar to linen where it softens up as you use it, especially since this is a hand wash only. But it's certainly something to think about and keep in mind. Okay, so here we have our single crochet swatch, and it works up just as you would expect. There's actually a decent amount of stitch definition in there. There is a slight halo. Let's see if you can see that. Yep, I think you can see that on the screen. There's definitely a halo, and I think that's the cashmere in there. Gives it a slight halo, which softens it up a little bit. I would say that this swatch is definitely not as soft as this feels. I think it might be softer if it was knitted, but I still think it's a very nice softness. I think it's just that the bumpiness of the stitches sorta is felt a little bit more than it might be if it were in a knitted swatch. Now let's give it a try as a double crochet. So I'd love to hear from you if you have ever used the We Crochet Capra and what you have made with it and what you thought as far as the softness and the halo and all of that sort of good stuff overall. About you, but whenever I hear the word Magnolia, I instantly go to Chip and Joanna Gaines with their show and the Magnolia Network, and I just love those two. They're so cute. Now I know their style is a little sort of static in that there's not a lot of variation, and they all their houses end up looking very similar. But that, that's what works for them, and I don't see anything wrong with that. As I work with this, I can definitely feel a little bit of the wool coming through, and while it is a fine merino wool, overall it's running across my working finger here, and I can just feel a little bit of that wooliness to it. Now overall, I don't think that feeling comes out in the finished result, but do want to comment on that for those that are sensitive to the wool or the feel of the wool. That might be something to watch out for. All right, so there's our double swatch, and I am going to frog a little bit of this back before redoing it. No problem whatsoever. Super duper easy to frog. And here is our double crochet swatch. So you can kind of see that you got definitely great stitch definition, and yet you still have, if you like that halo, there's definitely that little fuzzy halo on there, so that it kind of makes it, feel a little bit more cozy. And again, while I don't think that the feel stitched up is nearly as soft as it is on the ball, I do think it is a very soft working product and would be a wonderful sweater to, kind of have against the skin. So definitely something that you can keep in mind. So tell me, as we set this up, what you think. Will you be checking out the Capra? Will you be buying some to try out for your next project? Hey Farah, frog us out of here.